have felt like that too. Because I used to think and make others notice me, right? But that is all wrong. It doesn't work. It doesn't just work at all. Like that too. Because I used to think, I remember when I first faced others noticing me, right? I had no idea that is all wrong to make them. It doesn't work. Because I wasn't just like this upright perfect. Because I used to think, I remember when I first faced others, that's so bad. I had no idea that is all wrong to make them. That was how I think. And it doesn't work. Because I always thought it does, and not just like this upright perfect. Because I used to think, I remember when I first faced others, that's so bad. I had no idea that is all wrong to make them. I ran away from it. That was how I think. And I ran away from it. I left it because I had no idea that the world of dating really, really was. I left dating for 2 years. And this year, towards the ending, towards June, I came to realize after reading the power of self-discipline by Tracy, I learned how to be accountable to myself. I learned how to hit my husband chest and tell myself, bro, you are wrong and you are right. I learned how to be accountable for my failures, for my progress and my success. Now, and that made me make a decision. I stopped giving excuses and I take charge of my life. Totally. Then I realized that LinkedIn is it because when I came to LinkedIn, I saw LinkedIn like a CV platform, a place to just go up to submit your resume, to submit your CV. And I wasn't just building a brand, I was trying to build my vision, and it wasn't working. So after reading that book, I had a mindset, I had a mind shift. I started showing up as my real self, embracing my experiences, my failures, my success, my journey, and that made me unique. And that's when things start to change. That's when things started to change. Now, today, in a few minutes time, I'll be talking about 4 keys in you standing out as an authentic brand and command influence in your personal life, businesses, goals, and most especially now. Today, in a few minutes time, I'll be talking about because you need to understand that building a personal brand, Maya Angelou once said, you can't use your creativity because the more you use it, the more you have. That's exactly how I felt when I started embracing my authentic self. So a lot of people feel, I've seen a lot of perfect people on LinkedIn on this life. Okay, how do I make myself so perfect like that? You don't need to. You don't need to. You just need to be true to yourself. You just need to tap into your energy. The more you tap into your inner energy, the more you have more ideas and more connections. And at that moment, I was no longer afraid to grow. And that makes all the difference. So on LinkedIn, this translates into creating content that reflects my journey, my lesson learned, my expertise. And let me tell you that it paid off. It definitely paid off. Because within 45 days, consistently sharing my true self on LinkedIn, I moved from 100 connection to 1,600 connection in 45 days. And most importantly, the quality of my connection improved. I was no longer connecting just for the connecting sake, because that is what a lot of people do on LinkedIn. They come on LinkedIn, this any profile you do, you just want to just connect. You just want to do it to fulfill all righteousness. But in my case, it wasn't, even though I did it before. But at this moment, I wasn't just building relationship. I was building relationship with people that resonate with my story, with my journey, and with
Okay, so hi everyone. Originally, this event link was created for my community's anniversary, right? Absolutely. But now the challenge is this. So hi everyone. Originally, what's going on? Give me a moment. Event link. Okay. So I think it's perfect now. Yes, it's perfect. Okay. So originally, this link was created for my community's anniversary, but like you can't create what's the word? You can't create a link on your phone and have StreamYard collect it. So we had to do another one. So I had to just come in. I'm going to turn this on live. If you have any questions to ask me, just ask me. But what you're going to do mainly is look at the link where everybody else is. That's right under my comment section pinned. You can just click on the link right there and just go and meet everybody else. Thank you so much, Korean. It's been a while. I've not seen you for a long time.
From that moment, I realized that every post, interaction, and every piece of content that I see, I show up. In fact, I made it a goal. I made it a goal to wake up every day by 4 a.m. Nigerian time and post every single day for a year. Now ask yourself, the audience, we listening to all ourselves, can you do that? Until you hit your hand on your chest and make a commitment and make a goal that from this moment I want to be consistent about this. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. A dream is only a dream if you don't have a set goal, a set time for it. Even the Bible said it. Write out your plans and make them plain. It's as simple as that. So before you come to a conclusion and make a goal for yourself, set out the time. So I decided that I'll be posting every day for 1 year. And guess what? If I can have 1,600 followers, 1,600 followers in 45 days, then imagine how
just copy it and put it on your browser. Just copy it. Even though it's actually highlighted though.
If 45 days could give me this amount of result because I was real and I set a goal and I changed my strategy, then imagine how my 365 days will be. So I am telling each and every one of us listening to me tonight, it can happen. You can even do better than me. You can even explore better than me. You can change your strategy. You can change your creativity. You can change your pattern. You can even have 5,000 connection, real connection in 30 days. I see people do it. It is not magic. It is who they are. It's how they determine to do it. So I believe with a clear definition.
Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Just you can live the life now, this particular life now. You can live it and just check my life log. You're going to see the Bankable Influence where everybody else is. I have another life that is on now.
I want us to talk about tonight is engagement and connection. And I want us to understand the engagement and connection is what builds influence that lasts. We often think influence comes from what we know. But in reality, it's about what we know and how we engage them. That's as simple as it is. It's about who you know and how we engage them. Now, if you have ever come to LinkedIn in a day and see your newsfeed overwhelmed with perfect posts, perfect amount of amazing posts from people, and you ask yourself if you can do this, trust me, you are not alone in that. We all have been in that shoes before. When we see so many perfection in so many people, the truth is that you need to realize that you alone have your thumbprint in this world. Your thumbprint is only your own. Your creativity is only your own. Don't compare yourself to people. Don't compare your post to people. Don't compare what you do with people. Just stand still on your own and excel. And the secret is to be you and in the most amazing way. And not just to put out content every day, put out content. Be creative. Be creative. Be creative. Stop following trends. Stop following simple trends that comes out. Be creative. Stand out in your own way, in your brand. Be creative. If you see somebody selling something, selling the same thing as you, you felt like there's something you can do again because the person is doing the same thing that you are doing. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling us tonight, you can actually improve. You can actually add. You can actually go worldwide. You can actually explore if only you have the determination and the zeal to do it. It's about how you engage deeply with others. In my own case, I started commenting thoughtfully on people's posts, responding to messages. A lot of us don't even know how to comment. That is the most crucial thing. A lot of us don't even know. A lot of us are so used to AI generated comments. You see somebody make an amazing post, you just go there and you say, thank you for sharing. What is that? Thank you for sharing does not give you engagement. Thank you for sharing does not give you visibility. Comment thoughtfully. Reply to them. Some of us are very good in snubbing people's messages. In fact, we snub people's messages to an extent that our message is full of DMs. And we don't know that those messages are what brings real relationships and real connection. And that is where real conversations start from. Are you guys getting it? So remember, influence isn't about dominating the conversation. It's about listening and adding value. When people feel heard, understand, and respected, they become influential. So just know this. Just know this. When your audience feel heard and respected by you, you will become influential. You will become influential. That's just the way it is. Phoenix Gate is an example of what I am talking about today. It all started from somewhere. But because of the influence they've created, because of the respect and the value they have given to their audiences in the past, here we are today celebrating 1 year anniversary. It's a practical example of consistency and thoughtful engagement. It's about connection, not just networking. That's how influence is built. By showing that you care about other people's stories, their struggles, their goals. It's about being valuable resource for people around you. A lot of us, we have people around us that they can't even see us adding value to their lives. Whenever time they are around us, something moves out of them. That's just the way it is. So the fourth thing I'll be talking about tonight, it's about authentic storytelling. Authentic storytelling tonight, I want to let you know that it is your unique power. It is your unique superpower. It is what makes you most amazing, most beautiful, most awesome, most great person. When I first started sharing my posts on LinkedIn, I had no idea how much people could relate to it. I really don't know, because I was sharing my success, my failure, and every other thing. I had no idea how people could really relate to that, but it works. It works. These things work. These things are practical. These things work. Ask people that have done it. It works. Share their story. Share their struggle. These things work. People's journey and my own journey is far from being perfect. But the more we share, the more I share, the more you share, the more people are connected with you, the more people are connected with me, the more people are connected with your brand, the more people are connected to building amazing things with you. It's just the way it is. It can be very hard. But it can never be as difficult as spending your time running away from your story. You don't run away from your story. It's either, in fact, it's not either. I'm so sorry about that. Mr. David seems to be having issues with his network. But I hope we are learning. I hope we are jotting down. We are writing a lot, because I am writing also. I have a lot I've jotted down. We need to be authentic. We need to be real. And he was talking about consistency. To build anything, you need to be consistent. You can't just wake up one morning, do this, the next morning you are doing that. To build anything, you need to be consistent.
You can't just wake up one morning,
you also need
do
to
this,
have
the next
a
morning you are
mapped
doing
plan.
that. You need consistency in whatever you're doing. You also need to have a mapped out plan.
It gets you nowhere. It's going to get you nowhere. Thank you so very much, Mr. David. It's so sad that you have to be struggling with your network. We are so sorry about that. We are so sorry. Like, we are talking about you're already getting out points that you're going to use in the wider world, not only on LinkedIn, not only on social media. Thank you very much. Okay, without wasting much of our time, we'll call on our next speaker, a woman of influence, honestly. She's an amazing woman. We'll call on Mrs. Florence Omoyeri. A little bio about her, talking about her. Mrs. Florence is a visionary founder of the Purposeful Woman, a transformative mentorship initiative dedicated to empowering women to unlock their full potential. She guides women from all walks of life on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual empowerment. So she does not only talk about just empowering women, she empowers them spiritually too. That's who Mrs. Florence Omome is. And we'll be listening to her this evening. She'll be talking to us on what bankable influence means to her and how professionals can position for influence in their industries. Ma, how can professionals position in their industries? We are very welcome, Ma. It's so good to have you here, Ma. Good evening to you, Ma.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Ma. Loud and clear, Ma.
Thank you so much, Felishayo. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our anniversary. Like, I'm super pumped for this anniversary. Why am I excited? I'm excited because I have been with Phoenix Gates for 1 year. 1 year, and we have been on a journey of owning our stage, of owning who we are, of working fearlessly, of being the best version of ourselves. And I applaud Dr. Vivian for that. She's an amazing personality, and I'm super proud to be here. And for me, how bankable influence, how can you be bankable using your influence? I started a journey of self-discovery 5 years ago because I would like to share a little story of mine. 5 years ago, I was a mother, I was a wife, I was many hats. I was an employee, I was a volunteer, I was doing so many things at the same time, but I found out that I wasn't getting seen, I wasn't getting paid, I wasn't getting applauded, I was just in the trenches doing a lot of things. So one day I sat myself down and I asked myself this question: Florence, what is your value? What do you bring? You're not clear about yourself. How do you move? Why are you everywhere? What value are you bringing to the table? How can people know that you're giving so much but you're receiving little? And that's changed the trajectory of my career. That changed the trajectory of my purpose. That changed the trajectory of my audience, of who I serve, of what I want to be, or the kind of woman I want to envision or become. So I started working on myself, and I needed something: clarity. So clarity for me was a big deal. Clarity for me was what I use as my bankable influence, because without clarity, people will not know who you are. Without clarity, you can't be able to sell your value to others. Without clarity, you can't even transform inside out. So clarity for me is a bankable influence, and I'm going to talk about what clarity does. How knowing your value attracts platforms. And if you're not clear about who you are, or where you want to be, or what kind of brand you represent, people will not be clear about your brand. They won't be clear about who you are. They won't even purchase your product or services. They won't even come to your DM because you have not explicitly positioned yourself for clarity. So clarity for me is a big deal. And like my mentor and my coach will say, Brandon Watchard, he says, clarity is the difference between movement and what achievements. That's just it for me. And I repeat this quote again. Clarity is the difference between what movement, what an achievement. And bankable influence is your presence, how you position yourself, your presence, your voice, and the value that carry weight. So when you are influenced, when you see you are bankable, when they come to you, can you influence the next generation with your presence? Can you influence the next generation with your poise? Can you influence the next generation with your gifts, your value, your spirituality? The way you embody your values, that is how you'll be able to influence, whether positively or negatively. And that for me, you need to be clear about who you are. Now, I would like to talk about 7 dimensions of clarity. Because I am so, people that know me know that they call me the clarity queen. Even in my office, when you come to my table and you ask me something, I'll tell you, can you give me, clarify it until I know where I'm going to. So because I have been on this journey for so many years, I came up with what I call the 7 dimensions of clarity. And I want to let you know why this dimension matters. Because one, it helps you to what write without shouting. It helps you to lead without begging people. And it also helps you to know that it's not luxury, it's a weapon of you affirming yourself, of you working on your journey, of you working in a way that is visible. You have a clear purpose of your life, you have a clear cut goals of what you want to achieve part time, and you have a clear influence or the mountain that you have sent to influence your needs, your transformation, and your values. So now let's look at the first 7 dimension of clarity, and that's the clarity of identity. You see, for many years, I've had the distorted identity of myself. I have asked myself, who am I? When you ask somebody, who are you? People come with a title. But that's not it. Who are you? Without your titles, without you being in the meeting or working somewhere, in your essence, who are you primarily? That's question that I'm throwing to the audience. It's a reflection question. Who am I? You ask when you get to understand who you are, you're not having a clear version of yourself. And you also have a clear version of who you are sent to be, or the mountain of influence you are sent to go to, and the kind of values and the kind of message you are sent to, you project to. So it is very important for us to understand. Before, I used to call myself by titles. I am this, I am a program manager, I'm a business analyst, I'm a purposeful woman. No, I asked myself, who are my Florence? And I understand that I help women. I am a woman full of values, embodied with the talent God has given to me, and I'm here to share that talent to the world. And that's who I am. Because at the end of the day, literally that's who we are. So we all have that essence. We need to ask ourselves, beyond the titles, beyond the hat you're wearing, who are you? By the time we go on that journey, have a deep reflection on that question, we begin to uncover layers and layers of who we are. Now, the second dimension I want to share here is the clarity of purpose. You know, purpose is in how will I call it, a journey. It's not something you just start walking. It's a long journey, and you need to understand your purpose. Why should you understand your purpose? You need to understand why you are sent to this earth to do. What are you sent to do? A lot of us have this kind of different kind of assignments, but the overall purpose. Why are you sent there to do? What work were you sent to do? The work you're sent to do may include your gift, your passion, your talent. How do you now use it to be your core purpose? How do you now use it to use as a central thing to do other assignment that is surrounding that purpose? So it's important for you to understand what your purpose is. And for instance, I know when I became clear of who I am, I now understood that I was sent to help women discover themselves, women who are going through abuse, women who are going through trauma, women who need clarity in their life, women who want to go on a journey of self-discovery. Because saw myself doing that, I was okay, I think that's the central theme of what I'm going to do. And from there, I can flow into my other multi-influential flow that I have. So clarity of purpose is very important. Now, the third one is the audience, clarity of audience. Yes, you can be clear about who you are, you can be clear about your purpose, but if you're not clear about your audience, one, you will not give the right message. Two, you won't attract your right tribe or your community. So you need to be clear about your audience. Who am I sent to serve? How can I get this kind of audience? What is that buyer personnel? What are their pain points? How do I reach them? This is the reflection of being clear about the audience. So that way you have channeled yourself, who you are, your purpose, and you're not speaking to your audience. And your right audience will also align because they share the same values with you. They share the same thing, they have the same pain points that you are trying to solve. Now, the fourth one we're going to look at is your message. Now, your message is very important. You ask, what problem do I solve? What problem do I solve? For me, I see a lot of women having, especially going through midlife crisis. They have issues. They have lost themselves maybe in marriage or in career or in spirituality or even identity. So I see that's the problem. They're just going through life, going through emotions of life, but they don't really understand who they are. So I'm not asking, okay, this is my message, right? Because I need to craft my message to that particular set of people. And because I'm clear about what I want, I now target them there. And I have a community that we thrive. We call the Purpose Woman Community, where I empower and we talk about clarity, we talk about the purpose discovery and other women issues that arise. Then the fourth one I would like to talk about is the voice. The voice matter. If you are sent to the tech space, you can't speak like a banker. The tone of your voice, yes, the tone of your voice matters. You have to be clear about the kind of voice, because a lot of us we speak generic voice, but you need to know the tone, who you are speaking with, and how you present yourself. So it's very important that you understand the voice. Your voice matters, but it matters in the right places. It matters in the right mountain of influence. It matters to the right people. And the way you come clear with your voice, people will not sit and they're making noise. They will hear your voice clearly and it will resonate deeply with them. I've had one-on-one session with women, and they come to them that Florence, this week just analyzing, you are speaking directly to me. In short, you just summed up something of my life history. It is what? My voice. I understood myself. It's a psychological thing. I understood myself with them. I try to put myself in their shoes. I try to look at lens. I don't look at their problem from their own lens, not even from my own lens as a professional. So from there, I'm able to reach out to them and know that, okay, this is where you are coming from, and I'll get solutions for them. Mm-hmm. So the fifth one we're going to look at is the clarity of value. What value are you bringing? What is your value? Before you give people value, you need to be valued yourself. I tell women in my coaching community, you can't come to this community and not have a personal transformation of yourself, of understanding the kind of value you're bringing. Because if I come to meet if I come to meet Dr. Cherry, I know her, and I said, okay, I know she's a woman of value. I know that if I go and meet her, she'll really give me value. So I already understood her, and I know that, okay, this is the kind of woman I would like to embody. So because she's value driven, she understands where she's coming from. She has transformed herself to become the gift of value. And when you now charge for your value, you don't feel guilty. You don't feel that, okay, you don't feel that how what would I use it? You don't feel short-changed of your values, because you know you're giving top-notch value. So your value is part of your clarity. So as a woman, as a woman or man there that wants to have a bankable influence, you need to have clarity in all these 6 domains. Then the last one I want to talk about is your visibility. Yes. Every person in life have a solution for someone else's pain points. Every person, we are all gifted with solution. So if you hide your gift, if you hide what you have, you are disrupting the chain. And I tell women, how do I show up? They ask influence, how do I show up? How do you show up? You show up with your gift. You show up with your talent. You show up with what you know you can provide. A lot of women know they are very good business ideas, but they don't know how to show up with that and to provide business ideas. It's very important to show up with this. Be visible in your space. You can be visible to one person, to 10 person, to 20, 50 person. You need to start creating that visibility first with yourself, then around your circle of influence, then around your social media. That's how you create your visibility. And your visibility must come with personal transformation. I repeat again, your visibility must come with personal transformation. Now, I want to ask again that your bankable influence is your presence, your voice, and the value that carry weight. So if I come into a room, I know that I have influence that is bankable. I know that when I speak, people listen to me because I've carried that influence, I've carried that value, I've carried that transformation in myself. And it attracts opportunity. I've been able to have an opportunity. I've been on boards of different companies coming for me to speak to them. And even in my career as a program manager, I have been given promotion to as the head of organization because I had that clarity of who I am, clarity of my professional ethics, clarity of my professional skills, how I bring it to the table, how I'm going to use it to bring my organization forward. And they were excited and said, oh, this is a skill. This is someone we can't let her go. We need to let her run this organization. So it is what it is. You need to be clear about yourself. And being clarity, and without being clear, you will not have that influence that you want to influence. Because I, for one, I cannot go to somewhere that somebody, or can I meet somebody that don't have an influence or that is not being clear about yourself. When I have a one-on-one session and I found out you're not being clear about yourself, I can't even come back to another session with you. So it's very important that we need to know all this. Now, I like to round this up. I think my time is running, but I like to round this up with affirmations and the very big level of affirmation. Affirmation keeps me grounded, keeps me focus, keeps me being purposeful. And I would like to say this affirmation that I have crafted personally for myself. I say it every day, and I hope you can also say it. And let me just say it, that I am clear about who I am. I am confident in what I carry. I am positioned for influence, impact, and support. And I do not bring and arise into clarity. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you made something. And I'm looking forward to enjoy the rest of the anniversary with you all.
Okay, amazing. Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing? I don't know if you can hear me, see me. I think from our backstage, we are amazing. Thank you so much. We're missing out on our moderators, so I decided to step in. First of all, I would want to calm the atmosphere by saying that today it promises to be fire. Literally, throughout my circle of influence, I was able to see these amazing men and women who are going to be dishing out fire, literally. So I would want to say thank you so much for stepping in at this point. I think I can see Dr. Cheryl Cooper. Thank you so much, Mema. I appreciate you. I can see Nikki. You're doing amazing as well. Thank you so much, Omo Babiri, our star woman. Thank you so much for coming around. And then Florence, the queen of clarity. That's the word. Thank you so much for dishing out fire back to back. I mean, today we had lots of drama backstage, but I'm excited to see that today has eventually come to pass. But beyond this, I'm sure we've all been hearing what every of the speakers have been talking about from the beginning. So we're going to take our last question for this phase. I think our next speaker is none other than our excellent Omo Babiri. Dear ma'am, please could you help us by introducing yourself, and then we'll go straight into the questions. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and happy Sunday. I hope we have been having a good time. My name is Omo Babiri Adeola Oshidepo, so you can call me Adeola. I am an accountant by profession, but by passion and by purpose, I am a branding expert and a coach. Thanks for having me on board.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure a lot of people have been hearing about TIBA Awards, the TIBA Africa. This is the founder of TIBA. I don't know why she didn't want to talk about that. And also, she's going to be awarding some amazing sets of professionals this year. I'm hoping that Dr. Cheryl, you'll be a part of us again. Hopefully, you'll come to Nigeria, and then Nikki as well. You would also come to Nigeria this time again. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on board. So we're going to be, of course, we all noticed how we started. I mean, we started from you trying to clarify who you are. Of course, there is no bankable influence if you don't even know what you're about to bank. So I'm going to introduce. I'm going to do a few introductions much more later, but for now, let's just hear our amazing Omo Babiri answer a few questions. So I'm going to read it out to her. Please, what are some of the common mistakes people make when trying to build bankable influence, and how can they avoid them? Then, how do you handle criticism or negative feedback when maintaining your influence? You can give us examples because I'm sure a lot of people are very scared to be visible because they are afraid of backlashes that could come from being visible. Dear ma'am, the mic is yours. Thank you so much for coming on board. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you. So I would like to take it one by one so that I don't get it mixed up. So the first question is, what are the common mistakes that people make when they are building their personal brand? So I think number one mistake is that some people try to copy other people. They want to sound like someone else. They lose their identity. A few days ago, one of my team members at TIBA spoke to, not me directly, spoke to someone. So the person is supposed to deliver the message to me, and she's trying to give an advice. And I can see from that advice that the advice is good, it's coming from a good place, but it's like we are trying to copy another organization, we are trying to copy another platform to say, okay, this is the way they do it, let's do it like that. There is nothing wrong copying other people. I mean, I don't want to use the word copy, I want to use being inspired by other people. There's nothing wrong in it. But in a situation whereby you want to sound like someone else, you want to be like someone else, you lose your very core essence. We are all unique as individuals. We all have a unique identity. In fact, research has shown that no two people in the whole world have similar fingerprints. It means that out of the millions and billions of people that are living on the planet Earth, you're unique. You're not the same. So if you're trying to copy another one, that's a big mistake. Stay true to yourself. Sound like you. Be like you. Deliver like you. So I think that's the first mistake people make. Another mistake that people make is that they want to be perfect before they start. Perfection is an illusion. Perfection does not exist anywhere. You can never be perfect. Even God is the only one that is perfect to God. Even the Bible says that nobody is good except God. So trying to have everything figured out before you start your journey is going to delay you. It means you are not ready to start anything. As you're moving, I usually tell people that start anyhow, but don't continue anyhow. There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for you to learn on the journey, acquire knowledge, and use that knowledge to develop your brand. So don't try to get everything figured out. I remember the very first live video I was going to do, I think in 2018. I mispronounced the word. And I saw one particular woman in the comment section laughing out loud. Even though I cannot hear her voice, but there's a way you type a text and it's just so loud in your head. And I never allowed that. Yes, some people might just abandon everything they are doing to say, okay, I don't want to do this thing again, they're laughing at me. But I didn't do that. And I think this is also an encouragement to every other person. When people are trying to do things, don't laugh at them. We are all not born as a perfectionist. Whatever it is we are doing today, we all learn it here on earth. Nobody brought any knowledge from heaven. We were blank when we were born. So when people are trying to find their feet, when people are trying to develop their brand, to build their brand, to do something for themselves, allow them. It's okay to make mistakes. Allow them so that as they move, they get priority. As they move, they understand what they're doing. So another thing is And I think this is a very serious mistake. The number three mistake people make when they're trying to build their brand is that people try to build a business brand and mistake it or confuse it for a personal brand. They are not the same. Before now, when you hear the word brand, what comes to your head is business. Even till now, a lot of people, even for my team, when we are writing content or we are trying to do anything, I see that most times they get it mixed up. They said an individual and a brand. So when you say an individual means a person, then a brand means a business. I say no, that individual that you are putting on its own is a brand. So you cannot say an individual and a brand. So a brand can be a person, a brand can be a business. Most times now, what people do is they try to neglect their personal brand and focus on their business brand. If we remove, like as Florence said the other time, no issue. If we remove the business from you, what value can you deliver on your own? If we remove that position from you, CEO of Clinicon, founder of Clinicon, managing director, general manager of Clinicon, if we remove that position from you, who are you? So, as you're building, I'm not saying you should not use your personal brand. Very important. A lot of people that we know today, they are prominent people that are public figure. Most of us don't even know their business. Most of us don't even know that they are. As you're building your personal brand, as you're building your business brand, also make sure that you're building your personal brand. Then the fourth, one of the mistakes people make is that they think that it is only social media that you can build your brand. No, it's not only social media that you can build your brand. You can build your brand outside of social media. Ask yourself, before social media, are people building a personal brand? Yes. Where are they building it? Outside of social media. We have influential people, socialites, public figures, OAPs, and so many other people. Before social media came, people are doing stuff. So don't restrict yourself to, because we will not lie, even though I don't advise it, but the truth is that it is still not everybody that wants to do social media. Some people don't want to do social media, they're not interested. Even though we try to encourage them because it's not a digital world, and when you have a social media presence, it's kind of solidify your brand and give your brand credibility. I understand all of that, but for people who still have not embraced the concept of social media, you can still build your brand and outside of social media. Then I will just say one more, number 5, then we'll call it a day. Another thing is when you are trying to jump on every trend, if you are trying to build a personal brand, you need to be careful, because it is not everything that is meant for you, especially things that does not align with your personal values, with your belief system, with your principle, with your brand message. Okay, so the other time Florence was talking about the fact that we need to have clarity of who we are before we can do anything. I will add that we need to have a brand message. So this is the way I craft my own brand message. I craft what I do, who I do it for, and the results you're going to get. What I do, who are the people I do it for, and what are the results you're going to get. So let me give an example. So if you ask me now that, if you say, hello Adiola, can we meet you? I will say, my name is Adiola. I help, so I want to say what I do now. I help individuals and businesses build a solid brand that is sustainable and repeatable. Now, what do I do? What I do is that I help individuals and businesses build their brand. Okay, who are my targets? Who are the people I do it for? I do it for individuals and business owners. Then what is the result they are going to get? They are going to get a sustainable and a repeatable brand. So you need message, right? If you're watching, you can also drop your own brand message in the comments. If you don't have one, you can just use the method I just taught you now to come up with one. Now, I have a brand message, and anytime I want to create a content, I make sure
This is not the right.
my brand message. If
Having you on. This is not the right link to the life. Okay, this is what I'm trying to show you.
And it's not helping them to build a sustainable
like we have an event, just go out and come into
You
one
see a lot of
of
people today when things happen online, they
the
just jump on it, they just start
links.
writing about
I have another life scheduled at the same time. I did this to be to take people
so
back
these
to
are one
where
of the
everyone is.
mistakes that people make
So Kuyiki
when
might
they are
find
trying to build
us.
your brand online. So I think I mentioned five. I can't remember the way I mentioned it, but I think I mentioned number one mistake that people make is when you're trying to your personal brand. You're trying to confuse your business brand with your personal brand. Number three, when you're trying to jump on all trends, I can't remember the rest. I hope you all remember because everything is just coming directly from my head. Okay, so let me quickly go to the next question. The next question is talking about how do you handle criticism in this social media world when you're trying to build your brand. Criticism is inevitable. If you are building a brand, you need to have that at the back of your mind that you'll be criticized. Whether you're doing something well or you're not doing it well, you will be criticized. The only thing, I think there is a quote that says, if you don't want to be criticized, do nothing, say nothing. So just be there, don't do anything, don't say anything, just be there. Nobody will even question you. Everybody will. There is no problem with you because you have not said anything. You have not done anything. But as long as you're doing something, especially when it is something that is impacting life, and do you know there's two sets of people that will criticize you. Most times we used to think that people that will criticize you are people who cannot do what you're doing. Maybe people that really wish they can do what you're doing, but they can't. And before you know it, they turn into envy, jealousy, and start pulling you down. Yes, we have those set of people. But let me shock you. Let me shock you the more. We have people who are doing better than you. They are like you're looking at them up there. In your entire life, you never expect them to criticize you. But sometimes this thing gets to us. We feel it in our body. We can there's this emotional roller coaster that comes with negative criticism, especially. It's okay. Feel all the emotion. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to question your very core essence of okay, why am I even because in the first place, if you are not doing what you're doing, they will not attack you. Do you remember that I said if you don't want to be criticized, say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Don't be anything. Don't do anything and don't say anything. Then you will not be criticized. So sometimes you might want to question what you're doing again and say, you know, they want
No, it's here. Like just go
change my
back, go back
life.
out. You can see that people have liked
And I
that a
had
lot
to
of people
take it
came in
off
here.
at the time
So what you
because
do is just check on my live
after all said and
events.
done,
Check on my life.
it is about
Just
me.
go there.
So
I'm not the one
sometimes
speaking
you
right
might
now.
want to take
And I just
action.
went out of power.
Sometimes you
So I
might need
just
to
wanted to
speak
stay here
up.
to ensure that I'm directing
Sometimes you
people
might
over.
need to take some measures just to block them off so that they can allow you to do what you need to do. But in all of this, make sure that you protect your energy,